Went ahead and got the boat up off the trailer. Gonna clean it up, get it prepped for paint. Got the trailer out front. We're gonna clean it up, re-carpet the bunks. Done. Good? All right. Trailer's outside. We're gonna sand it down, clean it up, prep it for paint. We're gonna re-carpet the bunks. They're starting to scratch the boat a little bit. And then we got some additional bunk arms that are gonna go for side bunks, for the back of the trailer. I got those arms hung up to paint. I'm gonna do a lot of the prep work today. Matt's coming tomorrow. And then we're gonna actually do the painting tomorrow, so. I'm about to get this grinder, or this drill here with the wire bit, and get some of this chipping and rust off of this trailer, and then wipe it down and prep it for paint. And then we're gonna back it in the shop as well. And then we're gonna add new carpet to the bunks and add 2 additional bunks today. So got a lot on our plates today. We still gotta finish painting the boat itself as well as staining the deck, so stay tuned. Right now we're doing a degreaser on the boat, trying to get it cleaned up, prepped for paint. He's gonna go over one time with the degreaser. I'm gonna go across with some sandpaper to try to get any extra grit off. And then probably the second coat of degreaser. All right, so we're gonna apply a little test coat on the back here and see how it turns out. So kind of get an idea how it's gonna look just from what the prep work that I did. So what I did was took some degreaser, wiped it down, sandpaper, sand block, scrubbed it down again, and then some degreaser to clean the rest of that off. So I got kind of the main dirt, sand it down, get the rest of it off, and then of course prep it again. So we're gonna paint kind of from here, just the back side here, to see how it looks. Let's go. Tire coat's painted, first coat. So, first coat done. That's gonna be our base layer, green. We're gonna come back tomorrow after this paint dries and do our camo pattern. So yeah, we're gonna let this sit up overnight, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. All right, so Matt has showed up, and he's ready to get to work. What are you doing over there, Matt?
So I am priming the bottom of the boat where bare metal showing, from where, you know, slide on the shoulder or getting pulled up onto the land and where it's scraped off all the paint. It's aluminum, so it's not going to rust or anything. It's more of a cosmetic deal, so I'm going to go ahead and prime that just so it's not bare metal. We're going to, Griff went ahead and did a template for our camo pattern for the second layer. We got the base layer down with the primer, or the green. So we're going to go ahead with the base, like a OD tan, like a sand color, for the blotches for the second layer. And then we'll go back for the third layer with a black, probably black. So we got it. We're just going to do a little test section to see how we like it on the back. So that way it's easier, and if we don't like it, we can paint back over it.
Do the top first, and then I'll push down the bottom when you get to it. Not bad, does it?
Yeah.
I like it. Let's see if we keep going.
Alright, we'll just cover over that.
Oh, how about this? Let's not spray above this gunnel.
Okay.
Because it's going to be hard to like finesse that.
Yeah, it's not so.
So if we just put it right here, gotta get down low enough. All right, guys, I want to do more of an instructional.
Hello, can you go?
I wanted to. You got a little bit of whiskey in that Coke over there, brother?
I wish.
All right.
I heard about the wine in the truck one.
All right, so I want to do a little more instructional style in our videos. A lot of times we show you guys the before and after, not much in between. With not much description, that's kind of on us. We're trying to learning as we go. So
Yeah, definitely learning as we go. That's
I'll give you a little step by step. Hand me that degreaser, Matt. So the first thing I did yesterday, I already talked about it a little bit. We'll do kind of a walkthrough of everything we did from step one to finish. Originally, when me and Matt drug the boat out the very first time we washed it, got it all cleaned up. That was probably about 6 months ago. Yeah, about 6 months ago.
And we'll go ahead and put the. We'll go ahead and put a link up here.
Yeah, there's gonna be a link for that video as well. It's in our series, of the Jon Boat series, so you can go back and watch that if you want to. We'll provide the link for that. But we cleaned that boat originally, then got it pretty good and clean. It's been used a couple times since then, but overall the boat stayed pretty clean under the shed over here. So what me and my dad did yesterday, we took some degreaser, put it on a rag, did one wipe down of the boat completely. Then I took this sandpaper pad, wet it down, and scrubbed the entire boat of all the dirt and grime and more of clumpy materials that may be stuck to the side of the boat. I also have a coarser piece of sandpaper as well. It did clump up a little bit with the old paint, so I had to continuously rinse that off. So then step one being clean your boat with degreaser. Step two, sand it down of all the material that might be left over on it. Step three was another round of degreaser, let it dry, and then do your first coat of primer or your base layer, however your boat's already done. If it needs primer, of course, prime it. If not, I went ahead and slapped our first coat of green on yesterday. That dried 24 hours overnight. And now that Matt's here, we are doing our stencil. If you want to grab the stencil real quick, show them. So I went ahead and grabbed some cardboard and
The
drew
stencil,
a
hand
stencil.
drawn by this guy over here.
And then just cut it out with a razor knife. This is basically more of your blob pattern. Personally, I prefer like a blob first on the base, and then eventually come back over with your bark vertical lines. It's all preference. And then
Or
eventually,
if you want, depending on it, it also depends if you want to do bark or you want to do grass.
if you're doing a duck boat
whatever.
versus just a camo pattern for your fishing boat, that's going to be more personal preference. For us, we kind of want a little bit of a crossover or hybrid. As far as the look goes, there's not going to be any duck hunting.
I don't think we're going to be duck hunting out of this boat.
But as long as it looks cool, that's all that matters. So we're going over our blob. I call it the blob style first with our sand, which looks great against that green, as you can see. And then we're going to come back over this. I'm going to do a bark pattern stencil. I'll show you guys later when I get that done. And we're going to do our vertical bark lines with a black. There are a lot of YouTube videos out there explaining how all the patterns work together, but as far as a application standpoint, we're trying to make this video to help you guys understand what we did. If you like how our boat looks, we're showing you what we did. So
It's pretty simple. It's a little time consuming, especially the painting process. So it's not something you can really rush. I worked in a body shop for a little while. A little bit of a different process and different paint and whatever. But just take your time and remember, if you, especially on this, if you mess up, you can just what the hell are you doing? But just remember, if you do like mess up, like say something, we messed up something back here, you can always come back over it once it dries and go back over it with your base coat.
And honestly, touch up with spray paint, just spray a little bit extra on a piece of cardboard, take a little paintbrush and just honestly just touch it up if you have to.
If you want to.
Worst case scenario, if you're
Or just leave it like that.
perfectionist. But the thought process is with camo, it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, it's a Jon Boat, it's for fishing, it goes in the lakes and get dirty.
It's gonna get dirty, gonna get scratched up.
But we'll keep you guys updated as we go and hope you guys enjoy. All right, bunks in the back of the trailer are done.
Dunskies, my man.
Now they aren't perfect by any means, but some of our wood at the end is a little bit split and rotten.
But hey, you're a finance guy and I'm a technician. If we wanted it to look good, we should have learned a little bit more from Papa. Rest in peace.
All right,
And we're done.
it's not gonna look perfect, but it looks functional and it works.
All right, so we got the second color down. For the most part, there's we're gonna get a couple smaller stencils that are at his apartment. Kind of fill in some of the smaller parts so we can't put the big stencil down. But for the most part, second color is done
I'll give you a little walkthrough real quick.
on this side. We're not done with that side yet. we kind of ran out of paint.
Come over.
Get my fat butt out the way. I take it. Got the back right here. And then we still have on this side, we still have to kind of fill in. We were kind of running out of paint, so we may not have enough to finish this. We might have just enough to actually finish it. If not, we'll go to Lowe's tomorrow. Seeing as it's actually Christmas today, nothing's open.
All right.
But anyway, Merry Christmas, everybody. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. The painting, for the most part, is done. The camo's done. Completely done.
Yeah! Woo! Paint job done.
Finally.
Boat is back on the trailer. Trailer's done. Boat's done painted. We added extra bunks on the side to help guide it in, guide bunks.
That was great. That was hard as crap sometimes.
But let's do a little walk around, reveal.